Why Valve Banned 2 Fan Games, details about Exodus and the new Halo game. Valve has blocked 2 fan projects at once. Usually the company doesn't do this, so this event is an exception to the rule. This time, the modders committed several serious violations. For example, the fan version of Team Fortress 2 on the updated Source engine was recreated in the third-party game Sandbox, which violates copyright laws. Interestingly, the blocking didn't upset anyone. Enthusiasts had long wanted to close the project, and Valve simply did all the work for them. Something similar happened with Portal 64, a remake of the original puzzle game, meaning its outdated version. Unfortunately, files belonging to Nintendo were found in the game's library. Valve does not want to quarrel with another company, so they contacted the project's author and asked to close it. However, this story turned out to be sadder. Portal 64 had recently received an update, meaning the game wasn't intended to be closed before the approach. Among the many games showcased at the Game Awards in December, Archetype Entertainment's Exodus was one of the games that garnered the most attention. Created by a team of former BioWare veterans, the story-driven sci-fi RPG certainly looked intriguing in its debut trailer, and following its announcement, Archetype Entertainment revealed a few new details about the game in a series of videos. The videos reveal new details about the Exodus setting, choice and consequences mechanics, as well as much more. The events of Exodus unfold tens of thousands of years in the future in the Omega Centauri cluster, which is described as an ancient and unusual galaxy chosen, according to the developers, for specific reasons. In Exodus, humanity has left a dying Earth and finds itself as an outsider in a hostile galaxy, and the player's goal is to help it survive by stealing weapons and technology from the Celestials, powerful beings and enemies of humanity. Archetype Entertainment says it is paying special attention to the authenticity of the game's scientific basis, including collaborating with award-winning science fiction authors. Specifically, Exodus's plot will revolve around time dilation. Players will be traveling across the galaxy, but while interstellar missions will take days for you to complete, decades will pass for you at home. So Exodus will bring choice and consequence mechanics to the game. Archetype Entertainment says it's paying a lot of attention to this, as the game will have several different endings. The developer also says that the game will not be linear and will allow players to explore whatever they want. The developers talk about companion characters, which will supposedly be an important part of the gameplay. Of course, as announced at the Game Awards, one of the characters will be voiced by Matthew McConaughey and described as the protagonist's mentor. Archetype Entertainment also talked about the inspiration behind Exodus, including RPGs based on choice and consequence mechanics, particularly those that members of the development team have worked on in the past, including Baldur's Gate, Dragon Age, and Knights of the Old Republic, as well as other game franchises such as Horizon, The Last of Us, and Tomb Raider. Outside of games, the studio has also drawn inspiration from science fiction and fantasy works such as Dune and Interstellar. A few developers from 343 Industries may have hinted at an upcoming Halo game that has been rumored to be in development for some time now. Since the release of Halo Infinite in 2020, the trajectory of the franchise has been precarious. Thankfully, fans won't be short on Halo content in 2024, which includes a new season of the Halo show on Paramount+. Now it looks like fans can expect a new game in the future as well. Expectations for Halo's future have dwindled in recent years, especially after layoffs at Microsoft affected the 343 Industries team. However, the Halo Infinite roadmap has reportedly remained unchanged despite staff cuts and a reassessment of the studio's long-term priorities for the franchise. While the main focus remains on the live-action service, 343 will be rolling out new content throughout 2024. Incidentally, it's possible that 343 has bigger plans for the series after Halo Infinite. As Twitter users have noticed, the LinkedIn profile of former 343 Industries art director Justin Dingus indicates that he has been working on the next unannounced Halo release. Interestingly, the profile also states that Justin has been working on the project since April 2022. Another 343 Industries LinkedIn profile states that the studio's senior character systems designer has been creating player systems and assets in Unreal Engine 5. While the profile doesn't specify that it's Halo, Unreal Engine 5 was released in April 2022, more than a year after the launch of Halo Infinite. This means that 343 Industries likely has a project being developed on Unreal Engine 5, indicating that this could be the next Halo game. The news comes about a month after 343 Industries provided an update on the future of Halo Infinite. The studio has stated that 343 has no plans at this time to create single-player additional content for Halo Infinite. However, this likely means that 343 will continue to update the multiplayer portion of the game for the foreseeable future. Also, considering that work is already underway on an all-new Halo, gamers have a lot to look forward to in the coming years. In addition to the games, fans will also see more content in the form of a second season of the Halo series on Paramount+. While the first season was divisive among viewers, the popularity of the series led to it getting a sequel on the platform. However, time will tell if the second season will maintain its viewership numbers, especially considering that the show has already broken some of the franchise's existing lore. Either way, it's going to be an interesting period for Halo fans. Remedy has registered a new trademark, FBC Firebreak, which directly refers to the Federal Bureau of Control, known for studying paranormal phenomena. This organization is well known to anyone who played Control or Alan Wake's sequel. It seems this is the very Project Condor the developers mentioned last year. It will be a cooperative shooter designed for long-term support, likely featuring numerous service mechanics. This is also hinted at in the trademark description, which mentions multimedia software and even clothing. Interestingly, the subtitle Firebreak is not just a fancy word, but a term from the game's world. It referred to a mysterious zone that protected the world from supernatural creatures. Perhaps in the new shooter, gamers will encounter monsters within this space. Do you think Remedy can make a good cooperative action game, considering they once created the legendary Max Payne? If you felt lately that the gaming industry is in decline, you're not alone. The head of Nacon Publishing noticed that there are currently big problems with employee layoffs and sales drops. And do you know the reason for this? Video games themselves. There are simply too many of them. During the coronavirus pandemic, the gaming market was booming, with significant investments in adventures. As a result, now almost every day sees the release of 50-60 projects of various sizes, but they struggle to attract attention. The head of Nacon believes that clear positioning of each game will help address the situation. As an example, he cited RoboCop Rogue City, released by his company. Although the shooter is based on a well-known brand, the authors did not aim to expand the scale of advertising. Instead, they focused on the players themselves. Word of mouth and positive reviews naturally attracted attention to the project. By the way, Alex Murphy's adventures will not have additional content. The developers do not plan to expand RoboCop with sequels or any DLCs. The action game will only receive patches, one of which will introduce a new Game Plus mode. The authors of Forza Motorsport have commented on the game's unsuccessful release for the first time. First of all, they thanked the fans who didn't abandon the race, but helped identify key shortcomings. Thanks to this, the developers identified 3 directions: fixing the progression system, race rules, and artificial intelligence behavior. Since its release, the game has suffered from a variety of problems. For example, in some races, players received unfair penalties, but in other matches, they were completely absent. Therefore, gamers could do whatever they wanted, and the AI opponents were too wooden. They strictly followed the behavior line, so they braked illogically, turned sharply, and generally yielded in every way. As a result, the game has predominantly negative reviews on Steam. The developers did not specify when exactly Forza will receive an important update. Rumors from insiders. Jeff Grubb talked about the upcoming State of Play and Nintendo Direct. The PlayStation gaming presentation is expected to be organized in the coming weeks, maybe even by the end of January, while the show from Nintendo is currently scheduled for February. The companies themselves have not yet confirmed or denied these rumors. Blizzard will continue to support Diablo 4. The official announcement of the third season has not yet been made, but its banner has appeared in the game. According to it, a major update will happen on January 23rd, immediately after the end of the Blood season. The last update for Minecraft Legends with new content has been released. The developers added a combat style that allows dealing damage to enemies at a long distance. However, there will be no further innovations. Now the authors will only support the adventure and its network functions. The second Spider-Man has managed to surpass Baldur's Gate 3 and Alan Wake 2. In some aspects, the action game from Insomniac leads in the number of nominations at the DICE Awards. Some call this award the Oscars of the video game world, so Spider-Man still has a chance to make up for the TGA. Thanks for watching. Subscribe so you don't miss new news, and see you soon.